This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
So after 45 years of bringing us the entertainment of sport, especially here for us in the UK, Barry Hearn, the chairman of Matchroom Sport, founder of Matchroom Sport, is awarded the OBE by Her Majesty the Queen, the Order of the British Empire. So massive, massive congratulations and well deserved to Barry Hearn. In fact, I did actually send him a text message earlier on to congratulate him. Now, Barry Hearn, on a personal note, before we talk about some of the things that he's done, on a personal note with Barry, he's one of the very few people who's popular, who's well known, that I have direct access to. The other ones being like a Bob Arum or a Dillian White, etc., etc. But I know with Barry, whatever kind of question I have, don't get me wrong, as much as I have access to him, I don't harass him, I don't call him, I don't text him or anything like that. I tend to try not to make a nuisance of myself with people. Some people will say complete opposite. But I know that he will always give me a direct answer. If I've got a question, especially here with like boxing, I don't quite know something, Barry will know, drop him a message, he will then respond with the answer. Even if I don't like the answer, it's always going to be very, very straight-laced. And that's one of the things that I like about Barry. Interviewed him a few times. In fact, all those interviews will pop up as this video goes along, with the most important one, which will pop up at the end of this video, okay? Make sure that you watch that particular video. And for me, it's my most proudest interview. In fact, to my knowledge, I'm the only person, especially here on YouTube, that's actually done a full interview with Barry Hearn, doing a biography with him from humble beginnings all the way up to now, where we talk about him being chairman of Leyton Orient, his influence with boxing like Chris Eubank, the darts with Eric Bristow, and the snooker with Steve Davis, and all these kind of things. We talk about all that kind of stuff. Of course, his son Eddie, and many, many other different things. In fact, we even talk about the Snooker Loopy song. We talk about his book that he wrote way back when, his snooker story and things like that. So it's my most proudest interview. So make sure that you give that a watch. In fact, incidentally as well, the day after we did that interview, he had a heart attack. So, I mean, I don't remember the interview being that intense, but anyway, you know, he had a heart attack, of course, once he was fully recovered. Next time I spoke to him, I had him about it, saying how he nearly had me blacklisted, he nearly ruined me, like nobody would ever have interviewed me again, had he have popped his clogs, all that kind of thing. I had to make light of the situation. But Barry, he's the reason why my house currently is bought and paid for. Now, don't go jumping to conclusions. Watch that particular interview and you'll hear me talk about it with Barry. He's the influence as to why I did this at my young age, because he's been involved in sport for, 45 years, which is way before even I was born. Now, the things that he's done in sport and why he's recognised by Her Majesty the Queen for services to sport and Great Britain is because he made sport interesting. As far back as I can even recall, he made sport interesting. People weren't really talking about boxing that way until he had, say, the likes of Chris Eubank and quite a few others. People weren't talking about snooker until Barry, with the influences of interesting Steve Davis, the whirlwind Jimmy White. See, Barry, he would create characters out of these people. Music for the ring walks, all that kind of stuff. He even done a Snooker Loopy video with Chaz and Dave and many, many other different kinds of things. The darts, Eric Bristow, being chairman of Leyton Orient. And even now at the age of 72, he's still driven. He still wants to achieve. There's still many, many other things that he wants to do. Of course, he's got his fingers in lots of different pies. He's head of snooker and darts and that as well. He was it gymnastics and fishing and this, that and the other. He's a self-made millionaire. Of course, he loves money. Of course, his background is accountancy and all that kind of thing. And he, by his own admission, he came into it at the right time. So some of it is kind of luck, of course it is, but he's self-made. He's the one who grabbed it by the horns and dragged British sport up to what it was and currently is. If there was no Barry Hearn, do you think snooker, darts, boxing would be as popular as what it is here in the UK? Of course, the sports will still be around, of course it would, but not as much. When people look back, way back when, who are of a said age, you guys would have remembered that the snooker halls were filled with people going in there. After watching the World Championships with Steve Davis versus Jimmy White and whatever else, people would get in there in the snooker halls. People would have a dartboard in their house. Some people would even have snooker tables in their house and things like that. I mean, my dad tried, but our living room wasn't quite big enough. It's no fun when you're trying to hit a snooker ball and the wall is right behind you, you know. But that's the kind of influence that he would do. I mean, Spitting Image. He was on Spitting Image. He had his own character on Spitting Image. Steve Davis was doing baked beans commercials. This is what Barry Hearn done. Barry Hearn, he would create and mould and manage his sports people to celebrities. Of course, he made money himself, but he put a lot of money into their pockets and that as well. He knew what the British public wanted. He made darts a sexy sport. Snooker, a sexy sport. Chris Eubank, love him, hate him, became ultra popular because of Barry Hearn. And his influence is still there today. With Eddie, for example, yes, he's head of Matchroom Boxing, but he still reports to Barry. Eddie can't do too much without Barry knowing about it. It doesn't matter what kind of... It's almost like everything that he touches turns to gold. It really is. Now, I know some people don't like Barry because he's the father of Eddie. People will write absolute nonsense about him online and whatever else. It's all part and parcel of being a popular person. When you're successful, you're hated. A lot of people don't like Eddie Hearn because he was brought into money. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? Because he brought his children into a privileged lifestyle. A kind of lifestyle that most of us would love to have had. But a lot of people resent Eddie for that. Like it's his fault. I mean, I don't understand the mentality of some people. But for me, Barry is well-deserved. Of course, it wasn't just Barry way back when. Of course not. Frank Warren, he had a huge part in all this. The likes of Don King abroad and the Duvas and whatever else. But here in the UK, he is the turning point. He's the one who turned the thumb screws. He's the one who risked it. He's the one who took the chances. How popular is boxing right now? How popular is darts right now? How popular is snooker right now? Now, I don't really follow snooker and darts that much. I did way back when, as a kid, obviously because I'm like my stepfather and that, and that's pretty much all you heard. And in like the news of the world and things like that, and you read the papers, it was all about that because of the influence of Barry Hearn. Well-deserved OBE. So congratulations, my friend. Everyone else, thank you very much for your time. Go watch that video with Barry Hearn and his biography, which will be popping up right about now. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.